From Washington, this is VOA News. President Obama meets with Jordan's King Abdullah, and the Cypriot parliament strives to secure a financial bailout. I'm David Byrd reporting from Washington. U.S. President Barack Obama praised Jordan's King Abdullah Friday for taking a stand against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. As Dan Robinson reports, the president pledged more financial help for Syrian refugees in Jordan and also discussed the Israeli-Palestinian peace process with the Jordanian monarch.
Mr. Obama visited Jordan to reaffirm support for the longtime strategic ally of the United States, especially now as Jordan bears the burden of hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees. King Abdullah said there are now 460,000 refugees in Jordan, and the number could double. He said there is a need to increase stockpiling of supplies inside Syria and aid for those who have fled. President Obama said he is working with Congress to provide $200 million in additional budget support for Jordan. The two men also discussed Mr. Obama's talks with Israeli and Palestinian leaders. Mr. Obama ends his Mideast trip Saturday with a visit to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan before leaving for Washington. Dan Robinson, VOA News, with President Obama in Amman.
For more on this story, please visit our website, voanews.com. Rebels in the Central African Republic are advancing toward the capital 2 days after announcing the end of a ceasefire. A journalist in Bangui with VOA's French to Africa service says the rebels are about 50 kilometers from the city. He says the Seleka rebel alliance has been stopped by government forces and South African forces in helicopters. Seleka began its offensive in December, seizing about one-third of the country. The rebels later reached a peace deal with the government in regionally mediated talks, but have since accused Francois Bozize, the country's president, of breaking that agreement. The International Criminal Court has taken Congolese war crimes suspect Bosco Ntaganda into custody 4 days after he turned himself in at the U.S. Embassy in Rwanda. ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda said Taganda's arrival at The Hague is the beginning of a long process of justice.
This is a good day for victims in the Democratic Republic of Congo and for international justice. Today, those who are alleged to have long suffered at the hands of Bosco Ntaganda can look forward to the prospect of justice taking its course.
Ntaganda faces charges of murder, rape, sexual slavery, and using child soldiers. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of life in prison. Cyprus's parliament convened in an emergency session on Friday to discuss legislation breaking up the island's second-largest lender as the country teetered on the brink of a financial meltdown. Lawmakers adopted laws creating a solidarity fund to pool state assets as the basis for an emergency bond issue. They did that even though international lenders have rejected it as an option for the country to raise cash. Nicholas Papadopoulos is a Democratic Party member.
Well, we are striving to reach a deal with the Eurogroup, with our European partners, regarding a program that will assist Cyprus to get out of this financial crisis. And we hope that we will find ways to conclude this agreement as quickly as possible.
The steps are part of a package of measures to satisfy international lenders as the island races to clinch a $13 billion bailout from the European Union and avert bankruptcy. The North Dakota legislature has passed a bill that would essentially ban abortions by defining life as starting at conception. The state Senate approved the bill last month, but the Republican governor, John Dalrymple, still must sign the measure before it can become law. It is not clear whether he will actually sign that bill. Famed Cuban pianist Bebel Valdez has died in Sweden. He was 94 years old. Valdez was the pianist and musical director of Havana's Club Tropicana in the 1940s and 50s. He left Cuba in 1960, 1 year after Fidel Castro came to power. He left behind a wife and 5 children. Valdez won 5 Grammy Awards in the category of Best Traditional Tropical Album and Best Latin Jazz Album. For more on these stories, visit voanews.com. I'm David Byrd in Washington.